President Joe Biden calls for a peaceful transition of power to President-elect Trump. We have the story. Deadly wildfires sweep across Southern California. Millions are at risk.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Lucy Ritchie.
And I'm Grace Grimes. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Denton County. Let's go to our weather anchor, Aaron Erie, for the update. Aaron?
Thanks, Grace. At around 4:45, the National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Denton County. And just a few minutes ago, a flash flood warning was also issued for the area. This storm is coming from the west and bringing wind gusts of up to 58 miles per hour during the storm. You should remain indoors and closely monitor the situation, and if you're on campus, make sure to locate the nearest shelter locations. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Aaron. President Biden promised there will be a peaceful and orderly transfer of power today after Donald Trump won Tuesday night's presidential election. The president also had a message for fellow Democrats after a tough loss by Kamala Harris. CNN's Julia Benbrook has the latest from Washington.
President Joe Biden speaking publicly for the first time since the country voted to send Donald Trump back to the White House.
Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made.
He promised a peaceful transition of power and repurposed a line he used often on the campaign trail to draw contrast with Trump before dropping out of the race.
You can't love your country only when you win.
Biden emphasized the integrity of the American electoral system, something Trump repeatedly questioned in the aftermath of the 2020 election, spreading false claims about voter fraud and launching a series of legal challenges in swing states.
It is honest, it is fair, and it is transparent. And it can be trusted, win or lose.
During the remarks, Biden took a moment to speak directly to members of his cabinet and senior staff in the audience and promised to stay committed in the final days of his presidency.
Now we have 74 days to finish the term, our term. Let's make every day count. That's the responsibility we have to the American people.
The president spoke with the president-elect Wednesday to congratulate him on his victory and invite him to the White House. A source familiar says Trump's team is in discussions about when he should visit. It could happen as early as next week. Reporting at the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Aaron, welcome to the desk.
Thanks, Lucy.
It is definitely nice to have a new face here at the desk with us today.
Well, it's definitely nice to be sitting here for once, but make sure you're buckled in for the weather this weekend because it's going to be rainy. This afternoon in Denton, it's 69 degrees and it feels the same. We have 8-mile-per-hour winds, and it is currently raining. This evening, as we move in, the temperature will drop off just a bit. It'll be 67 degrees, but it'll feel more like 68. The winds will be at 13 miles per hour. And then tomorrow, it'll warm back up. It'll be 69 degrees, and it'll feel like 71 with wind gusts of 11 miles per hour. Different from the precipitation, winter weather storm Anya is currently making its way through the Texas Panhandle, New Mexico, and Colorado. Winter weather advisories are currently active for this region of the U.S. Northeast New Mexico anticipates 3 feet of snowfall and the potential of 6 feet snow drifts. Segments of the I-40 and I-25 through Colorado and New Mexico are expected to be closed until Friday. Officials warn that the weight of the snow could impact the area through power outages, roof collapses, and tree damage. Texas will be impacted by the storm in the northwest corner of the Panhandle. 5 to 8 inches of snow are expected for the region. That's all I have for First Look. Now back to you, Grace and Lily, at the desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Although Thanksgiving is still a few weeks away, Starbucks is getting ahead of the holidays and has brought back their holiday-themed drinks and merchandise. One of the drinks that is returning is the fan favorite peppermint mocha and the caramel brulee. A new addition has arrived as well, and it is the salted pecan crunch cold brew. Since 1997, Starbucks has sold the holiday-themed cups, but they have since expanded on it and now sell reusable mugs, tumblers, and cups, which will be all decorated in celebration of the season, as they have been for the last 27 years. All of these items are available at stores nationwide starting today. So be sure to stop by Starbucks if you'd like to get into the holiday spirit. But for a lot of people, nothing says the holiday spirit more than shopping for gifts. Our Melanie Garcia is live at Golden Triangle Mall with some advice on how to save money this Christmas.
Thanks, Lucy. The season of giving is about to arrive, but while you're writing your shopping list, make sure to check twice or else you're going to spend too much, because experts are predicting that holiday spending will reach an all-time high this year. CNN's Jen Sullivan has a look at some shopping trends and some tips on how to avoid being visited by the spirits of bad spending.
It's the season of giving, but if you're not careful with finances, you could be getting a hefty bill at the end of the holiday season. Experts say shopping as early as now can help you budget.
We have seen a trend over the last couple of years of consumers starting their shopping a little earlier for the winter holidays.
Catherine Cullen with the National Retail Federation says holiday spending this year is expected to hit an all-time high, with shoppers spending an average of $902 per person, about $641 going towards gifts, and the rest towards food, cards, and decor. There is some good news for shoppers this year.
We do know that in many ways inflation has gotten better than it was last year, particularly when it comes to goods, which is great news for consumers.
A recent survey by NerdWallet found 28% of shoppers who used credit cards to buy gifts last year are still paying off that debt. So, how can you make sure you don't overspend?
The best thing to do is to really make a plan before you start spending. Ideally, we want to use our savings and not debt to fund those purchases.
NerdWallet personal finance expert Kimberly Palmer also recommends these tips. Make a list and figure out exactly how much you want to spend. Start shopping early. Talk to family and friends about expectations and possibly scaling back. And sign up for price drop alerts.
Using some kind of browser add-on like Honey or the Camelizer browser extension just to track those prices can just help make sure that you're getting the best deal possible.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Well, thankfully, the Golden Triangle Mall has some great offers this season, and even more coming this Black Friday, which is only 3 weeks from tomorrow. That's all I have today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Melanie. While we start to think about getting our holiday shopping started, the famous Rockefeller Christmas tree is already on its way to New York City. This 74-foot tree comes from Stockbridge, Massachusetts. It left this morning and is scheduled to arrive in Manhattan on Saturday. This tree was planted 67 years ago and weighs 11 tons. After it was cut, singing elves sent it off to its new home in true holiday style. It will hold over 50,000 lights, and tree owner Michael Albert is excited to see it shine.
Yes, I'm happy to see people be able to enjoy it for Christmas, which was a very special time in my house all over the years. I'm going to be down there for the tree light. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
This year's tree lighting ceremony will happen the night of Wednesday, December 4th in Rockefeller Center.
I love Christmas, and I'm so excited for that tree to be up and decorated.
Yes, me too, but there's something exciting going on right now not far away from the studio. Let's take it to our women's basketball team where ntTV's Jaden Lathan is at the game right now. How's it looking, Jay?
Thanks, guys. I'm out here live from the Super Pit where the North Texas Mean Green are facing off against the Texas Southern Tigers right now. They hold a 5-point lead on the Tigers. This is the first time we have played the Tigers in nearly 26 years, and head coach Jason Burton is looking to build off a historical season. We have so far the leading scorer is Jocelyn Moore, as she has 15 points in the second quarter. And stay tuned because the men's team is playing later. Stay tuned for that. They play off against Wayland Baptist. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Jay. Stay with us. We have a look at a dangerous and fast-moving wildfire that's impacting parts of California.
And closer to home, we've got the latest on a mountain lion that was spotted in a North Texas neighborhood.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for a delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
There are new signs that climate change is not getting any better around the world. This was the second warmest October on record globally. It was just slightly cooler than October of last year. Here in North Texas, October 2024 was one of the warmest and driest Octobers on record. The average temperature throughout the month was nearly 76 degrees. The only measurable rain we got was on Halloween, the final day of the month. That makes October 2024 the 9th driest on record in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Dry conditions on the West Coast are helping fuel a pair of devastating wildfires. More than 14,000 acres have been burned near Los Angeles this week. Several people have been injured and thousands more have been forced to evacuate their homes. CNN's Sherelle Hubbard has the latest from Southern California.
My husband and I live in Las Posas Estates. And this morning we had lots of pounding on our door to get out. And so we did. And the fire at that time made it difficult to get out because it's less than 1,000 feet from us. And we kept trying to find our way out through the smoke, and there was fires on the side of the road and in front of us. And we kept going in circles, and we finally got out. And so we've just been kind of driving around.
Breathing was a little difficult for some. Some left earlier until they finally did the evacuation notice, and then we all had to go.
We got an evacuation text, and I went home because I was at work, and went home to neighbors packing up. It moved very suddenly into our neighborhood. We got one of our neighbors who lives alone by herself out, and we headed to the evacuation center.
The Red Cross is in this community 24/7. We're helping the community prepare, and of course we're responding to this fire, and we'll be here to help them recover and get back on their feet and get back into their homes. This started out as a temporary evacuation point where people were coming in just getting information, a place out of the wind, out of the smoke, but now we're transitioning to a shelter, an overnight shelter. We have a team setting up cots so they'll have a place to sleep. We have the Salvation Army cooking meals for us, so we'll have dinner tonight, breakfast tomorrow, meals as long as they need it here. We have some nurses that are here that have initially were treating some scrapes and some minor burns from people that were evacuating, and then we brought in some people from a local nursing home where the smoke was getting too intense, so they're staying here with us also.
It seems like there has been some hectic weather happening all over the country.
Let's toss it back over to Aaron Erie to see what we can expect here in the state of Texas heading into the weekend.
Thanks, Lucy. As we take a look across North Texas, we can see we have cooler temperatures on the west side of the state. It's 68 in Graham, 67 in Stephenville. Then as we move over to the east side of the state, it does warm up just a little bit. Denton's currently at 72. Paris is at 75. Sulphur Springs is at 73. But in our state map, we get a little bit more variety. Amarillo is feeling the temperatures from that winter weather storm at 50 degrees. El Paso's currently at 56. Abilene's at 66, but again, we see that theme that on the east side, it's a little bit warmer. Shreveport's at 75, Houston is at 87, and Austin's at 85. Then as we transition into our 7-day forecast, we can see that we will have rain for tomorrow on the forecast with a 93% chance. It'll be 69 degrees with a low of 49. But then as we move into the rest of the week, we will have clear skies all 6 days, 70 degrees on Saturday with a low of 47. It'll be warmest on Tuesday with a high of 76 and a low of 57. And we'll cap off our week on Thursday with a high of 68 and a low of 47. That's all I have for weather. Back to you both at the desk.
Thanks, Aaron. We are hoping for clear skies here in Denton this weekend because there's going to be a lot of excitement. You might say Denton is going for the dogs.
That's right, Lucy. Dogs of all shapes and sizes will be showing off their speed. ntTV's Alexandria Teeters is live with a preview of the 2024 Weenie Dog races. Alex?
Thanks, ladies. The annual D&L Denton Weenie Dog Race is this weekend, this Saturday. Despite the name, the event is open to all dog breeds that have the need for speed. Now, there are 4 races this weekend, including the Weenie Dog exclusive race here at D&L Farm and Home at 10:30 a.m. Now, if you think your dog has what it takes, you can register online or at the event starting at 9:30 on Saturday. And while the canine athletes celebrate their wins, complimentary lunch will be provided. So if you're looking for some family fun this weekend, there is plenty here. That's all I have for you tonight. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Alexandria. There's a different kind of animal on the run in South Carolina, and this time it was not planned. Yesterday, 43 monkeys escaped from a research facility when a new employee didn't fully shut their enclosure. Employees at the lab are doing everything they can to track down the monkeys, including setting up food traps and using thermal imaging cameras. Police say that the monkeys are not infected with any diseases and pose little danger to the public. But people who live nearby are urged to keep their doors and windows shut so that the monkeys can't climb inside their homes and hide.
Not monkeys, but mountain lions, or at least one. Frisco police say a mountain lion was spotted near Lake Louisville Monday. The cat was seen on a home security camera, and the homeowners reported it to the Texas Department of Parks and Wildlife. Experts there say the animal is probably just passing through and poses no real danger to people. Back in 2020, several mountain lions were reported in both Collin and Dallas counties. Wildlife experts said that animals were also just passing through as well. However, if you happen to encounter one, experts say don't panic, face the animal in an upright position and back away slowly. Do not run. But again, the chances of an encounter like that are very unlikely.
Next, some former UNT athletic stars are being honored by the university. We'll show you how.
And we'll get a live update on the Mean Green women's basketball game going on now against Texas Southern.
And now we return to Fabric of Passion.
Oh, Hector, it will be so hard for us to part, but we must.
But, my love, what did I do? I thought we were meant to be together forever.
I am so disheartened to say that you're just not in style anymore. But you will be, to someone else, in a better place.
You're gonna shred me?
No.
I'm donating you to one of the many clothing donation boxes available on campus. There is one in the Union by the Syndicate and one on Union Circle Drive.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? I'm gonna be someone's new shirt.
I thought you'd be more distressed.
Oh, absolutely not. It was cramped in your closet anyways.
Maybe you would like to be shredded after all.
welcome back as we are here from the Super Pit, where we are now at halftime in the women's basketball game against Texas Southern, where the Mean Green are up by 9. This weekend, we also have some greatness going on along with the basketball team as 6 new athletes are being inducted into the Mean Green Athletics Hall of Fame. Sean, I heard you have more information on that. Could you tell us?
That's right, Jay. That's right, Jay. A former UNT women's basketball player will be receiving the highest honor as Terriel Bradley will be inducted into the North Texas Athletics Hall of Fame alongside 5 other UNT athletic greats. Bradley played for the Mean Green from 2016 to 2019 and was a 2-time first-team Conference USA All-American. She ranks in the top 10 in many stats at UNT and is in the top 3 in scoring and program history. She arrived at UNT the same offseason as former head coach J.C. Mitchell and took the program from 5 wins to winning seasons in both of her final seasons. That set the table for what the program has become under current head coach Jason Burden. Track and field was represented well with 2 inductees in this Hall of Fame class, the first of which is legendary high jumper Shahaf Barini, who is still involved with UNT athletics to this day. Barini has the 6th highest finishes in program history and an untouched peak of 7th at the NCAA championships in 2013, while she has also represented UNT on the international stage for Israel. The other track and field inductee is the lone coach inducted this cycle. Rick Watkins was the head coach of the track and field program for 20 years, winning the 2002 South Central Region Coach of the Year, while also developing 7 of his athletes into Junior USA Championship participants. The largest group, however, is the class of football players. Half of the inductees suited up for the Mean Green football team, all in different decades. The oldest of those is defensive lineman Roderick Manning. Manning is second all-time in sacks for UNT with 20, and he's one of 5 players in Mean Green history to be a Kodak All-American. He was also signed by the Chicago Bears as an undrafted free agent. Going into the 90s, we see offensive lineman Philip Armour. He was a conference All-American in 3 straight seasons, becoming the first UNT player to do that since Mean Joe Green. He also played 2 seasons for the Indianapolis Colts, seeing action in 3 games. And this is a trench-heavy class, with offensive lineman Dylan Lineberry also being inducted. He was the interior lineman for 2 of the greatest running backs in UNT history, Patrick Cobbs and Jamario Thomas. Both of those players became All-Americans, with Thomas even winning Sun Belt Player of the Year as a freshman. These titans of North Texas athletics will be inducted during the Hall of Fame induction ceremony Saturday at the Gateway Center before the UNT game versus Army. And I, for one, cannot wait for this induction. But that's not the only big event happening at UNT this weekend. I'll talk about that and Joel Embiid getting into yet another controversy after the break.
The do's and don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my god! This girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my god.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our Mean Green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
On Saturday, UNT welcomes a ranked opponent to DACU Stadium for just the 4th time in program history. They face the 8-0 Army Black Knights, who are ranked 18th in the country. This game is going to be really difficult, but it's going to be helped by the fact that starting quarterback and leading rusher Bryson Daly is out for the Army Black Knights with an undisclosed injury, and that's going to lead to the backup quarterback starting for Army. And it's also helped by the fact that we are 2-1 against ranked opponents at DACU Stadium, with a win over number 15 UTSA in 2021 being the most recent of those wins. Well, that's all I have for the game. Moving on to my next story. Philadelphia 76ers star Joel Embiid has been the subject of a lot of criticism during his NBA career for his actions off the court, and those critics won't be silenced by his latest incident. Philadelphia Inquirer columnist Marcus Hayes recently wrote an article that was critical of Embiid's effort and work ethic. The column also mentioned Embiid's son Arthur, who is named after Embiid's younger brother who sadly passed away. Hayes wrote that if Embiid wants to leave a legacy for his son, he first needs to show up to work, referring to his injury issues throughout his career. Joel Embiid confronted the reporter in the 76ers locker room after a recent home loss, and after a verbal altercation, he shoved Hayes. That led the NBA to suspend Embiid for 3 games. That's all I have. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, John. Grace, do you know the best way to have a martini?
I think it's shaken, not stirred, right?
That's right. And do you know who made that famous?
Of course I do. It was Bond, James Bond.
Well, now the next time that you are in London, you can get one at the new 007 bar in London. This is the first James Bond bar in the world and is a pop-up for the 60th anniversary of the Bond film Goldfinger.
Decor includes 3 gold Aston Martin car sculptures that will hang from the ceiling and a carpet with lines from the film. The bar will also include a store with collectibles for sale and many props from the film to pose with.
Well, Grace, it sounds like a trip to London is in order, along with another box of popcorn and curling up with a movie.
I completely agree.
Thank you for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again next week here on North Texas Television.